Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8-Second Gaming. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at one very simple skill that literally everyone can start to implement into their gameplay starting immediately that will help you win a ton more fights right off the bat. And that skill is skynading. Skynading is one of the easiest tricks in Apex to learn, but once you have a firm grasp on it and you actually understand how it works, you can start to use it in your own fights to win some that you have no right to win. It's something that can change the tide of a fight instantly and give you an advantage when you had none to begin with. So let's actually hop into a VOD to take a look at how you can implement this into your own game. But just quickly, if you guys find this video useful, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps my channel a ton. The more people that like and subscribe, the more that this video gets pushed into the YouTube algorithm, the more people see my content, the more money I can potentially make and start to hire an editor for this to make better content for you guys. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like, subscribe button. But now let's actually hop into the VOD here. And this is on E District, which I'm going to be honest, isn't the best map for skynading. Skynading takes a little bit of finesse, a little bit of flair, and kind of the right circumstances for you to be in. One of the best maps for skynading is Olympus and World's Edge because it does have a lot of open ground for you to fight in, and that's what you need. Now, E District has like these really harsh vertical plays that doesn't really allow skynading to play out all that well. Like, as you can see, we are fighting a team up here, and if I was a little bit closer, you could try to vertinate and get one up here, but vertinating and skynading are not the same thing. Skynading is a little bit different, and I will explain the differences in a second here. But if you were to take a look just to my left here, if I were to try and skynade somebody that's here, there's so many different obstacles in the way that doesn't allow me to either play off the damage that I were able to get with the skynade, or it doesn't allow me to skynade at all. So this isn't the best map to really be showing you guys, but it also is the good map to show you guys because I'm showing you if I can do it on this map, then you can do it on basically any map. Now with this fight, we are at a massive disadvantage here. You can see that we are on white armor, and I don't really have the best guns. I have a Rampage and an RE45. That's not a good setup, and we had just left a drop spot. We aren't just landing and fighting immediately. We'd looted this area, we had the Loba ult. I looked around for a better option for my guns, and I just couldn't find anything. So not only do we have a bad gun setup, we are at a disadvantage with the positioning because this team does have high ground on us. Now looking at this fight right now, you would think, okay, how do I win this? What are my options here? And to be honest, in the heat of the moment, I didn't really think we had a ton. I honestly thought we were going to lose this fight. But when you're in that mentality, you are probably going to lose it. So when you're in these fights, you have to start to think, okay, how do we win this instead? And typically, if you're at a disadvantage like this, normally the style that you have to play around is your enemies messing up. You have to kind of bait them into worse positions. You have to make them throw themselves out of position so that you can take advantage on that and turn the momentum in the fight. Now, as I'm shooting here, you can see I don't like this position at all, so I try to reposition as fast as I can and try to take as little amount of damage while I'm doing it, because if we take a lot of damage, this team is going to have a lot more options to push off of. And you can see my Mirage didn't really have the same mindset because he does take a lot of damage here, and I also start to take a little bit more. Now, you can see as I go around the corner here, I was going to head straight over here and get this this little Evo cache here to get my team blue armor because that would help us in the fight a ton. But I noticed that this Mirage decoy was here. And if a Mirage decoy is right there and is able to kind of get around the corner, it means that Mirage is close enough to have thrown it from a straight angle. So now I have to redesign my game plan because my original game plan to get blue armors and play off of that is now out of the window. I can't do that anymore. And in your own games, you have to be thinking, okay, one plan went wrong, now I have to pivot into another plan. And that is a little bit of game sense and game knowledge because you do have to have plan A, B, C, D, E, F. You have to have so many different options. And if one goes wrong, another one is probably also going wrong. So maybe plan A didn't go wrong, but that also means that plan F can't go. So now you have to think, okay, does plan B, C, D, do those work? Can I pivot to those? So now, right now, what I'm thinking is, okay, I'm going to stay right here. And if there's a Mirage comes around the corner, I'm going to use my RE45, my up close weapon, to try and get a decent amount of damage off on him. But if he doesn't come instantly, I have to back off and heal my shields. And this is something you guys have to be aware of in your own games, is if somebody isn't an immediate threat to you, you have to stabilize yourself. Because if you're not stabilizing yourself, you're going to be at a disadvantage in that fight, and it's going to lead you to lose a lot of them. Now, as soon as that Mirage doesn't come around the corner, I do position myself a little bit more aggressively here, and I am trying to look for a position to actually fight here. I heal my shields up, and as soon as I'm at full health again, I'm looking to take an aggressive off angle here because my teammates aren't taking a ton of damage. They're not at risk right now, and that's when I see this Mirage. Now, all of the callouts for this team would have been that my teammates were over here. Nobody saw me take this angle over here, so this opens me up to do a lot of damage on the side here. And this makes it so that the enemy team doesn't know that I'm here, and I have to wait for the perfect opportunity. If I had shot when the Mirage was like over here per se, then he could easily back up behind this truck, cut off line of sight, and now my crossfire has been blown. I don't have the element of surprise anymore. But because I waited for him to be in full view, he now has to make a choice as soon as I start shooting him. One, he has to commit to the climb or commit to running over here so that he's closer to my teammates and then they can swing him and they can play off of that. Or he has to cross back here and take even more damage or even go down. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm waiting for him to be at the right opportunity. So as soon as I do that, I do shoot and I do miss some decent amount of bullets here. I'm not going to lie. I don't like the Rampage. I don't use the Rampage. I'm not used to the fire rate. I'm not used to anything on the Rampage. If I had had a better weapon like a flatline or a 301, I'm very confident that I would have done more damage or even downed that person. But hey, I got to call myself out when stuff goes wrong, because if I don't call myself out, then it's not a good look for a coach type deal. I miss shots. It happens. Everyone's human. Everyone's going to miss shots. But now this puts me in a bad position because now my cover's blown and I have to make my decision here. My teammate is getting pushed and I am now forced to cross here, and I start to take some damage, and now one of their teammates is up here. So now we actually understand where all of the teammates are in this fight, and this is a huge help because before all I really knew was the Mirage was. But now I know Mirage is over here. So that's one. There's another one over here, so that's two. And my teammate was just taking damage, so three has to be somewhere over here. So that allows me to identify where all of these people are, and now I can play off of that. I didn't take a ton of damage on this cross, and I do have a revved up Rampage, so I'm looking to still be aggressive. So as soon as I get a good position back, I'm looking to be aggressive on this team, and I take a lot of damage. Or I deal a lot of damage to this person right here. And this is where skynading comes into play. This is where being able to understand how to use skynades and how to position a skynade is so important. Because right now, if I were to try to cross to this person, I would be so exposed to his teammates over here. Yes, there is this little green truck right here that I would be able to kind of use. But as soon as I'm past that green truck, there's a little bit of ground right here where I would be open and there would be no cover. And so I am open to getting shot from this side, which I know two of his teammates are over here. And if he does decide to kind of pop up right here and shoot me also, that could be throwing the fight for my team. But if I'm able to get a grenade right here, I know that that person cannot move. And they're not going to be expecting a grenade. And I don't want to just throw it regularly and have it land right here and try to force him out, because people can play around that. I don't want to give him time to respond to this. Right now, we have kind of evened out the fight a little bit. We've drawn this enemy team into a spot that's more advantageous for us to fight in. And now we're looking to kind of put the nail in the coffin. So I go here and I go to Skynade. Now, some people might be wondering, how do I know where to skynade? How do I understand that where I'm looking right here is going to drop that grenade where I want it to? And the simple answer is It's feel. You have to feel it, and you have to play enough of the game to understand it. The easiest thing for you to do is to go into the firing range and play around with it. I have somewhere around 10,000 hours on Apex. I understand how far the grenades go, how like the arcing works just off of muscle memory. So it's literally just me doing this at the moment. There's no calculations. There's no like Valorant lineup where you look over here and then you look up and to the right and you match it up with this pixel and this thing. There's nothing like that. There is something that you can do where like the angle of like the person's hand as you're holding the grenade up helps, but you're not gonna be able to see that in the moment. You're not gonna be able to line that up 99% of the time. So it's not worth practicing that or even knowing that. Just honestly go into the firing range and just test around a little bit and you will get a feel for it. And another thing is, do this in games. Throw Skynades and just see what lands and what doesn't. And over time, you will get a better feel for it. But as you can see right here, I do throw this grenade and then I'm back to fighting this team. I'm able to get the horizon down. And as soon as the horizon gets knocked, you can see right there, I'm able to get a kill with the grenade. So I was able to land that Skynade perfectly. And now in a matter of seconds, they've gone from having my Mirage be almost dead. He's at like 50 health. They forced me off of my side angle and they had high ground on us. So they had a lot of advantages, but in the matter of like a manner of 2 seconds, they are now down 2 people. Just like that. And you can see how fast these games turn when you are able to Skynade. And now all that we really have to do is track down the last person, which happens to be a Mirage, and I see him hop over the edge right here. So now I know where the real Mirage is, and I'm able to chase him down, and we are actually able to get the kill. It does take a little bit of time, so I'm not going to go into that. But you can see how Skynades can be so effective in fights, and it's the simplest thing to do. All I did was look into the air, throw a grenade, it landed, blew somebody up, killed them, and it turned the fight so fast because they weren't able to do anything because of it. They're not able to react to those. So if you're able to put this into your own gameplay, I can guarantee you that it will help you win more fights. But again, if you guys found this video useful, please hit that like and subscribe button. And I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming. I'll see you guys in the next one.